So, Mr. Fire, anything you had to say in your defense? Yes! I am not guilty! Oh, is that so? We got multiple witnesses saying that you killed Cliffjumper. What kind of idiot records himself committing a crime? No! Look! Cliffjumper's not dead! I mean, look, he's here! What? See, he's perfectly healthy! Isn't that right, Cliffy? Oh wow, he's so silly. We're the best friends ever. He looks like a zombie. No, he doesn't. That's racist. Just because he's purple? Wow, man, I can't believe that. Mr. Roadbuster, what do you think? Your Honor, I saw him commit the murder. He has revived him with dark energy. That is not Cliffjumper. You're just jealous that Cliffjumper likes me better than you. Silence! Everyone! Order! Order! Alright, the defense may speak now. Tweely, you got this, man. I don't want to go to prison. If I'm going to prison, I'm taking you with me, so you better save me from this. Oh, I've never experienced such an amazing speech like that before. It really touched my heartstrings. You're free to go. Wow, Twilly, I didn't know you were such a great lawyer. That's official. You're appearing in all my videos from now on. Okay, come on, let's go. Oh, Cliffjumper, you're also coming with us. There might be some more cliff jumping to do. What, you just gonna let them go like that? After they committed a crime and posted on YouTube? Yeah, but have you seen that guy? He was so adorable. I can't put him in jail. Hey guys, the Fire Brothers here, and I'm sorry this video took a long while to make. I've been busy with school, but now that I'm in vacation, I can finally move on and finally finish the Roadbuster Wasted Potential. A while ago, I also made a poll talking about which character would you guys like to see, and the most requested character was Jetfire. I initially recorded a Jetfire video, but that video is 1 hour long. So yeah, I need to find a way to shorten his story because Jetfire has a lot of stuff. So until I manage to fix that, I'm gonna move on with Roadbuster because it's way shorter. I might save Jetfire for the final episode of the season, or maybe episode 9. I don't know. I'll see. Okay, I'll think about it. But yeah, today we're just doing Roadbuster because he's way shorter than Jetfire, and also doing these short episodes are actually kind of fun for me. So let's move on to Roadbuster's Wasted Potential. Okay, so Roadbuster is part of this group known as the Wreckers. It consists of Leftfoot, Topspin, and him. According to the head director of NES, they arrived with the second wave of Autobots in the ship known as the Sanctum, meaning that they arrived on Earth during the events of Revenge of the Fallen. But due to their attitude and, recklessness, they were rarely left off the NASA base. In there, they will spend most of their time just repairing the ship and making some tweaks to it, along with some other human personnel such as Robert Epps. Later in Dark of the Moon, when Sentinel Prime gave an ultimatum to humanity to exile the Autobots or be destroyed, the humans foolishly comply, and the Wreckers were present when the Autobots were leaving. Soon thereafter, the Sanctum took off, and once they were about to leave Earth, the ship was intercepted by Starscream and later destroyed. The Wreckers were believed to be killed along with the other Autobots, but in reality they escaped in one of the parts that fell off, landed somewhere safely, and then made their way to Chicago to fight the Decepticons. Once they arrived, the first order of business was to... Oh god! Jeez guys, a little extreme. I mean, PG-13 over here. We're gonna get demonetized. So yeah, after doing a fatality on one of the Decepticons, after that Sam questioned them about how they survived, which Roadbuster replied that they built the ship but they weren't inside when it was destroyed, saying that they built the damn thing and knew everything about it. The Wreckers accompanied the Autobots to scout for a route to the building containing Sentinel Prime's space bridge pillar, when suddenly Shockwave and his pet driller separated Optimus Prime from his weapon trailer. The Autobots and the Wreckers took refuge on an abandoned building, and Optimus Prime ordered Roadbuster and the other Wreckers to create a distraction. While the Autobots engaged some of the Decepticons that were trying to surround them, the Wreckers mobilized onto Shockwave's direction and started engaging the enemy. Their weapons, however, did not inflict any kind of significant damage onto Shockwave, and all it did was annoy him at best. Oh, but they were at it, they also kinda left behind William Brains. Dicks. So we later see the Wreckers and Roadbuster in the film after Optimus Prime got shot down by Shockwave and had become snared in a construction site's cables. The Wreckers spotted their leader and they hurried up to set him free. After doing that, they joined the humans that were engaging the Decepticons near the pillars. After Optimus Prime came down from the heavens and killed most of the Decepticon forces, the Wreckers mobilized and started engaging the Decepticon Depcon. Roadbuster can later be seen at the end of the movie, witnessing the destruction, the death of Megatron and Sentinel Prime, and supposedly the end of the war with the Autobots having won and realizing that Earth was now their true home, since Cybertron was gone. Until the Fed movie. And that's it for Roadbuster, but apparently his story doesn't end there. In the last night, a robot, or well, something that looks like Roadbuster appears, and a lot of people are saying that this is Roadbuster, and it could be, I think it is, and since we never saw Roadbuster die, but by the time of the last night, supposedly Topspin and Roadbuster have taken refuge in Cuba, where they're now living safely along with the human population in there, playing soccer and enjoying life. And that's actually gonna end for Roadbuster. Surprisingly, he didn't have enough, and he's one of the most requested characters for some reason. But yeah guys, I talked about the movies, time to cover how the comics handle this guy. Okay, so his only comic appearance is the Creation Rebel Tech. And it's a Japanese manga, which explains the, weird name. In this comic, when Optimus Prime is engaging Megatron, the Wreckers can be seen cheering Optimus Prime as he's engaging Megatron in a 1v1. And they look really derpy. And yeah, that's actually about it for Roadbuster. Man, he has less appearances than I thought he would have. But anyways guys, that's it for the comics. Extremely short, surprisingly. Probably the shortest comic segment in this series. He also doesn't have any major game appearances. I mean, he has that bot shot thing, but we're not counting that. I guess we're moving on to how will I have handled him already. Wow, this is gonna be a really short episode. So, Roadbuster is a pretty popular Autobot. I don't know why. I mean, to me, he's just a regular Autobot. I guess because he's one of the Wreckers, people like him more. But, Roadbuster never really did anything special. I mean, his design, I guess it's kinda cool. But out of all the Wreckers, he's like my least favorite. I mean, Leslie has that relationship with that dog. More on that when he gets his own video. And Topspin at least had a major quote-unquote major appearance in the last night. Roadbuster is probably the Wrecker with the least amount of screen time, and to me, well, he's my least favorite. I'm not saying I don't like him. I'm just saying that between the three, he's my least favorite. Roadbuster is not much of a character. He's part of this group, so I'm gonna tell you how I will handle the Wreckers in Dark of the Moon. So in Dark of the Moon, I will say have the Wreckers pretty much the same up until the Battle of Chicago. In the Battle of Chicago, have them like, I don't know, transform and engage Shockwave for a little while, much like they did Depcon in the final battle. After that, something I will have liked them to do is perform hit and run tactics against the Decepticons. Now, we know that the Wreckers are pretty much like the Autobot equivalent of the Suicide Squad, so it would be cool that while the humans are like just sneaking out, the Wreckers are just going from street to street, just like killing Decepticons left and right, causing some mayhem and causing disruption to the Decepticon forces. I think that would be a pretty cool idea. Then keep the part where they free Optimus the same. Freeing Optimus is a pretty big deal because Optimus Prime will later go on to destroy a lot of the Decepticon forces protecting the pillars, so that part makes sense. And during the final battle, the wreckers kinda just go missing. I know they're fighting Debcon, but does anyone really care about Debcon? Have the wreckers like be on the background some more, like holding onto the Decepticons from entering the location of the pillars. I think that would be way more useful. It will let us know that they're performing a valuable combat role, because the wreckers' role in Dark of the Moon is a lot like the Dinobots in Age of Extinction. After, you know, Optimus Prime leaves to fight Lockdown, the Dinobots just transform and they say, we're gonna hold the line, and we don't see them do anything. Yeah, that was kind of a waste in my opinion, so have them do some action, have them actually hold the line. Now for Age of Extinction, have him appear in like the scene where the humans are hunting down Leftfoot, but have his death be ambiguous, like have the fans be like, oh no, Leftfoot died, but we don't know what happened to Roadbuster and Topspin. It will be a nice callback to Dark of the Moon. It will make like the fans speculate some more with if Roadbuster survived or not. And then in the last night, Topspin was the only one that, you know, got a clear presence in the film. But have Roadbuster be there. Keep Roadbuster pretty much the same and have him be like, I don't know, training other Autobots there or something. You can just do whatever with him in the last night, because in the last night he doesn't do much or anything, so it doesn't really matter. But overall, I wouldn't have changed much with Roadbuster, because he's one of those Autobots who's just there to like fill up space. I mean, the wreckers were kinda just there to fill up space. Besides freeing Optimus and holding the line at the end of the film, they kinda didn't do much. Even the Dinobots did more than the wreckers did, like over the span of 3 movies. So I wouldn't have changed much with Roadbuster, except like have him be at least a bit more in the spotlight, a bit more in the background, because after Dark of the Moon we barely even see him. We see Topspin and Leftfoot do more than Roadbuster. Roadbuster is actually kind of a big deal in the comics, so seeing him be relegated to this background character, it's kind of a shame, because in the Wreckers IDW comics he actually is a pretty good character, and he also has a pretty gruesome death, but we don't talk about that. But yeah, just give Roadbuster some more of the spotlight, that's all I'm asking for. But anyways guys, that's how I would have handled him. But now let's go to the wasted potential scale and see how he measures up against other contestants. Oh boy, look what we have over here. Looks like the scale is full. Wow. You know, I can't believe we have 16 episodes so far, 16 characters. Like, when I first started with RC, I never expected it to go on for this long, but I'm glad it did, and I love you guys actually like this because it's one of my most requested series. It does take me a while to edit, but apparently a lot of you guys like it, so let's keep that up. So now that the scale is full, I'm gonna have to rearrange this, like reorder it. Okay, so we got a scale 1 to 10. So here are just the rankings 1 to 10, which involve RC, Shockwave, Soundwave, Devastator, the Twins, the last Night Decepticons. That includes Nitro Zeus. People, please stop asking me for Nitro Zeus. Nitro Zeus counts as the last Night Decepticons. So please, don't ask me for the Nitro Zeus wasted potential. Joel, the Dreads, Brawl, and Mirage. And then 11 to 20, which is gonna be completed by the end of the seasons, which includes Wheeljack, Infernicus, Bone Crusher, Blackhawk, Clefjumper, and Jazz. The higher you are ranked on the scale, the more wasted potential you have. The more you were screwed, wasted, or completely neglected in the movies. The least you have, like Jazz, means that you were awesome, you were good, like you weren't that bad. You were actually, you know, you didn't have that much wasted potential because you actually kind of fulfilled your purpose. So, where to put a Roadbuster? Now this is gonna be a tricky one because Roadbuster, there's not much you can do with him. I could say the same thing about almost all the Wreckers. They really didn't perform that big of a role. They were just kind of meant to be there as filler Autobots. And that shows from their scenes. In Dark of the Moon, their main debut, they weren't even that prevalent. In Age of Extinction, we saw Leftfoot, and sure, it's kinda sad because it tells us that more Autobots die, not just Ratchet. But we only saw Leftfoot. And in the last night, Topspin kinda got the spotlight from the 3 Wreckers, which is not saying much. And Roadbuster is kinda like this younger brother who's just there and doesn't really do much. I'm guessing since he didn't have, you know, this important role in the story, he shouldn't be ranked with the higher ups like RC, Shockwave, and Soundwave. So he's probably gonna fit in with, you know, the rankings 11 to 20. So between all of these guys, where does he fit? So he was a minor character, and he's not one of those popular G1 characters like RC, Shockwave, and Soundwave. He has always been kind of like this, background character. This, character with a minor role. But Roadbuster is tricky because most of his scenes is with the wreckers. So should we classify Roadbuster as part of the wreckers? Like, should we, rank him based on him being part of the wreckers? Or should we rank him based on him being an individual? Like his design and everything, how he looks, and his individual scenes, which they're really minimum. But considering that out of all the three, he's the one with the least amount of screen time, that's still gonna affect him. So Roadbuster being a minor Autobot, having a cool design, and not really doing anything memorable except for that fatality on that one Decepticon pilot nobody cared about. His name was Gary, by the way, for those who cared. I don't think we should rank him like at the bottom because he kinda had no purpose other than being part of some action scenes. Jazz died doing something heroic. Cliffjumper helped the other characters grow. Blackout helped the Decepticons be menacing. Bone Crusher was kinda just there to die. Infernicus was also kinda just there to die. Roadbuster was there for failure, so he's probably gonna rank somewhere in there. And Dino and Wheeljack, they were cool looking characters, and Roadbuster did look pretty cool. But they had more screen time than him, and Wheeljack was a G1 character, so we expected more from him. And Dino was actually a pretty popular G1 character, so we also expected more from him. So he's gonna rank somewhere between Infernicus and Bone Crusher. The question is, where do we put him at? So I'm gonna rank Roadbuster at 14. I mean, Bone Crusher was kinda just there to die, and he was a Decepticon, so we know Decepticons are obviously always get the short end of the stick. But for the Autobots, I mean, at least we expect the Autobots to have some decent amount of screen time, which he did, but not as an individual, as a group. Which, when you think of Roadbuster, you don't think of Roadbuster, you think of the Wreckers. And when you think of the Wreckers, you don't think of them individually. You think about, oh, the red car, the blue car, and the green car. That's the thing that bugs me about Roadbuster's appearances. You don't think of him as an individual, you think of him as a member of this group, as this Suicide Squad, and that's all he is. And that's all he was in the movies. Unlike the other characters, he's not as popular. I mean, from other continuities like G1, I don't think he had any major appearances in there, or any significant roles, but in recent years he kinda did, especially in the IDW comics, but I don't know, he did have a cool design. I was actually kind of hyped for the records, especially since we got posters of them and everything, and they were kind of hyped for the promotional material, which they kind of measured up to nothing. And the reason why I have him, below Infernicus is because Infernicus is a combiner. A combiner is a big deal. At least Infernicus was kind of cool and had some action scenes, but Roadbuster, what did he ever truly do? He didn't really do much to begin with. And in the scenes he's in, he's always right next to the wreckers, which it doesn't really help him make him more memorable as an individual. It helps the group be more memorable, but it doesn't really do Roadbuster any favors. And him being missing in Age of Extinction and barely appearing in The Last Night doesn't really help his case. It really doesn't. So that's it for this video, guys. Tell me your thoughts down below. Do you guys believe Roadbuster was wasted? I personally believe he was, but since he wasn't a major character, he wasn't that wasted. It's like, let's say, that Jetfire looking Autobot in The Last Night. No one's saying, oh, that guy was so wasted. No, because he never mattered. So what does it matter if you only see him for a couple of scenes and he just disappears? Because he's not an important character. Same goes with Roadbuster, he's not important. He never had a pretty big role in the movies or anything, so seeing him or not, it doesn't really matter, and that's actually kinda sad. Because Roadbuster has a pretty cool design, and I'm kind of upset he never did much. But I'm gonna pass on the question up to you guys. Do you guys believe he was wasted? Would you guys have liked to see more of him, or do you guys think that what we saw from him in the movies was just good enough? Also, let me know who you want me to talk about next for the next episode. I kinda don't know who I'm gonna talk about next. I'm gonna save the Jetfire episode for later because, oh my god, he's super long. Like, you guys have no idea. So yeah, comment down below who you want me to talk about next. And don't ask me Nacho Zeus, because I already did a video for him. So, a small shout out to my patrons, Librado Marufo, Chance Theories, and Sachin Morag. Thank you guys for donating to my Patreon. If you guys wanna donate to get a shout out, links to my Patreon's gonna be in the description down below. Make sure to check Chance Theories' channel, he's one of my patrons. and can we try to get his channel to 2,000 subscribers? That would be great. But anyways guys, thanks to my patrons for donating, and let me know who you want me to talk about next. Anyways, that's it for this video. The Fire Brothers out.